Hello students, so we will study dehydrohalogenation in alkyl halides. Okay, so let us draw a general picture of a alkyl halide. All right. Imagine this is a alkyl halide. Let me draw it here. That will look better. Imagine this is a alkyl halide where X is your halogen, chlorine, bromine or iodine, whatever. Okay. Imagine this is your alkyl halide where X is your halogen atom. Alright. Now, a base is provided here. Okay. A strong base is provided to this alkyl halide. A strong base is provided. What will happen if a strong base is provided? Okay. What this base will do? The base will abstract a hydrogen. The base will take away a hydrogen. Now, which hydrogen it will take? You see. The carbon atom directly linked to the halogen. The carbon atom directly linked to the halogen is called alpha carbon. The carbon atom directly linked to the halogen is called alpha carbon, and the carbon directly linked, the just next carbon directly linked to the alpha carbon is called beta carbon. Again I am repeating, the carbon atom directly linked to the halogen atom, the carbon atom directly linked to the halogen atom is called alpha carbon, and the carbon just next to the alpha carbon directly bonded to the alpha carbon is called beta carbon. Okay, this carbon is just next to the alpha carbon, so this is your beta carbon. Now the hydrogens bonded to the alpha carbon, the hydrogens bonded to the beta carbon are called beta hydrogen. The hydrogen bonded to the beta carbon is called beta hydrogen. So these are beta hydrogens which is bonded to the beta carbon. So what this strong base will do, this strong base will take one of the beta hydrogen with itself. The strong base will attack the beta hydrogen and it will take that beta hydrogen. Okay, it will take the beta hydrogen with it. So what happens? Since the strong base will take this beta hydrogen, the carbon hydrogen bond will break or not? Obviously, the carbon hydrogen bond, the beta carbon and beta hydrogen bond will break because this beta hydrogen is taken away by the strong base. So this bond will break and come in between. You can see the arrow movement. Okay, and the halogen attached to the alpha carbon, that will also leave. The halogen attached to the alpha carbon, that will also leave. So two processes are happening. The strong base is taking away the beta hydrogen. Okay, and since the beta hydrogen is taken away by the strong base, the beta carbon beta hydrogen bond will break and the bond will come in between, and the carbon halogen bond also will break. The alpha carbon halogen bond, that will also break, and the halogen is also leaving the system. So what will happen? A double bond is created in between. A double bond is created in between the alpha carbon and the beta carbon. You observe. because the position where beta carbon and beta hydrogen bond broke, because the strong base took the beta hydrogen and that bond came in between the alpha and beta carbon. That bond came in between the alpha and beta carbon, and the halogen atom linked to the alpha carbon, that also left. Okay, so two molecules are leaving, hydrogen and halogen. So minus HX, because two atoms are leaving the system. Yes or no? Two atoms are leaving. So due to breaking of this bond, a double bond is developed between alpha carbon and beta carbon. Okay, a double bond is developed between alpha carbon and beta carbon. So what do you get? You get a alkene. Okay, so to summarize, I would say that alkyl halide, whenever it is attacked by a strong base, the strong base will take the beta hydrogen with itself. So since the beta hydrogen will be taken away by the strong base, the beta carbon beta hydrogen bond will break and come in between the alpha carbon and beta carbon. The beta carbon beta hydrogen bond will break and the bond will come between alpha and beta carbon. So extra bond is coming, and the carbon halogen bond will also break and the halogen atom will leave. Okay, so the extra bond which came in between alpha and beta carbon, that gave rise to a double bond. Okay, so this is what happens, and two atoms are leaving, hydrogen as well as halogen. That is why HX is written, minus HX. Okay, so this is all about your beta elimination, or it is also called as dehydrohalogenation. Why it is called dehydrohalogenation? Because hydrogen is also getting eliminated, halogen is also getting eliminated. Dehydro means, D means removal. Both hydrogen as well as halogen is eliminated from the molecule. That is why we have added dehydrohalogenation. Okay, and when these two atoms getting eliminated, a double bond is created in between alpha and the beta carbon, and you get an alkene. So that is what is your dehydrohalogenation, or it is also called as beta elimination. Beta elimination or dehydrohalogenation. So the another name I am writing for this reaction, it is beta elimination. Okay, it is called dehydrohalogenation, or it is also called beta elimination. Beta elimination reaction. Next, what will happen if there are two beta carbon or two beta hydrogen? What will happen if there are two beta hydrogen corresponding to two beta carbon? What will happen there? Let us see. Okay, let us see. So let us take a molecule like this. If you observe this molecule, obviously the carbon atom directly linked to halogen is your alpha carbon, and the carbon next to the alpha carbon is beta carbon. But you see there are two beta carbons here. The carbon atom directly linked to halogen is called alpha carbon, and the carbon next to alpha carbon, just next to alpha carbon, is beta carbon. So there are two just nearer carbons. So there are two beta carbon. So obviously there will be two beta hydrogen. If there are two beta carbon, the hydrogen attached to the beta carbon is beta hydrogen. So there are two beta hydrogen. So from which beta carbon hydrogen will be eliminated? Okay. So what we will do? You see. the more highly substituted alkene, that is having lesser number of hydrogens, will be the major product, okay. So if you give a strong base, the base will remove that beta hydrogen which is from the carbon which is highly substituted. Okay, highly substituted means there are more number of alkyl groups attached or more crowded. Highly substituted alkene means alkene which is more crowded or more number of alkyl or methyl groups attached. Okay, that is called highly substituted alkene. Okay, and another way to find highly substituted alkene, having lesser number of hydrogen. So you will find which beta carbon has lesser number of hydrogen. Obviously this one having 2 hydrogen. So the beta carbon which has lesser number of hydrogen, from there only the hydrogen will be removed. Okay, and from here hydrogen is removed means double bond will come in between alpha and beta. So double bond will come here as you saw. Okay, double bond came here. Alright, double bond came at that position. Okay, double bond came at that position. Yes, obviously this bromine will be removed and you will get this product. Okay, the bromine is removed and you will get CH double bond CH. Sorry, let me write in a much better way. The compound is like this. I have attacked a strong base. Okay, so there are 2 beta carbons. Okay, so from which beta carbon the hydrogen will be eliminated? That beta carbon having lesser number of hydrogen, or that carbon which is more substituted. You see, beta carbon is also more substituted. Methyl groups are attached, larger number of methyl groups, or it is more crowded and it has lesser number of hydrogen. So from that beta carbon the hydrogen will be eliminated. Okay, so from this beta carbon the hydrogen is eliminated. Alright, so let me write down this structure like this. So this hydrogen will be eliminated, double bond will come in between alpha and beta carbon. Okay, if there are 2 beta carbons, the hydrogen will eliminated from that beta carbon having lesser number of hydrogen. So the hydrogen will be eliminated from that beta carbon having lesser number of hydrogen. So this carbon has 2 hydrogen, lesser number of hydrogen compared to this beta carbon. So hydrogen is removed from this beta carbon. And also this is more substituted. More substituted means more number of alkyl groups attached to the beta carbon, or it is more crowded, you can say. Okay, so this hydrogen is eliminated. So a double bond will come in between alpha and beta, and this halogen will be eliminated. So what you will get ultimately? Structure like this. Okay, you got double bond at the 2 position. Okay, so this will be the major product. So whenever there is 2 beta carbon, hydrogen will be eliminated from that beta carbon having lesser number of hydrogens. When there are 2 beta carbons, hydrogen will be eliminated from that beta carbon having lesser number of hydrogens. Okay, two or more. If there are two or more beta carbon also, that rule is applicated. That more highly substituted alkene or lesser number of hydrogen. So you see, this is more highly substituted alkene because it has more alkyl groups attached, this double bond. That is what is meaning of more highly substituted alkene, and having lesser number of hydrogen. This had lesser number of hydrogen. Okay, so this will be the major product in the case where more than one beta carbon is there. Okay, so this is what is about dehydrohalogenation. Okay, and this rule is called the Setzev's rule. Setzev's rule. Alright. The more highly substituted alkene will be the major product. This is the more highly substituted alkene. Okay, in case of more than one beta hydrogen. Now the order of reactivity. Okay, the order of reactivity, we will see that. You see, the order of reactivity will be for the ease of dehydrohalogenation. The ease of dehydrohalogenation depends on the number of methyl groups attached to the carbon containing the halogen. So more is the number of alkyl groups attached, more easily it can lose hydrogen as well as halogen. Okay. More is the alkyl group attached, more it is reactive towards dehydrohalogenation. So this has more alkyl group or methyl groups attached, that will be more reactive compared to this and compared to this. Now if we compare order of reactivity of in terms of what? If we compare order of reactivity in terms of alkyl halides. So remember, alkyl iodide will be more reactive. Next is alkyl bromide, then alkyl chloride, then alkyl fluoride. Okay. Order of reactivity, you mention here alkyl halides. Order of reactivity in terms of halogen, you can write. In terms of halogens. This was in terms of alkyl halide, first one. Second one is in terms of halogens. So alkyl iodide will be more reactive compared to alkyl bromide. Bromide more reactive than chloride, chloride more reactive than fluoride. Because iodine is a better leaving group, we already know, compared to bromine, and bromine better leaving group compared to chlorine. So depends on the nature of the leaving group, this order has been decided. Second order. Okay. So that is all about your beta hydro or beta elimination, which is called as dehydrohalogenation. Okay. So that's all for dehydrohalogenation. Thank you all.